They do get.
Okay, we ready?
Yep.
All right. Good. Good evening. Welcome to the Danvers Conservation Commission for December 12th, 2024. We operate under the Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and Chapter 26 of the Town of Danvers General Bylaw, the Wetlands Protection Bylaw. After each applicant presents his or her request, and the board has had time to ask questions and discuss the project, we will accept questions from the audience. Because this is a public meeting, it is required by law that you give your name and address before you speak. Although we may disagree on the issues raised, all persons present during this meeting are expected to be civil to all other meeting attendees. This includes members of the commission, staff, abutters, concerned citizens, property owners, and project applicants. We also request that you confine your questions to the project and only as it pertains to the Wetlands Act. We cannot handle, nor do we have jurisdiction over matters such as noise or traffic. All problems not related to the Wetlands Protection Act and the Town of Danvers Wetlands Protection Bylaw must be taken up with other appropriate boards. Our first order of business will be a roll call. Peter Wilson is present. Lorraine Drapek.
Present.
Jonathan Garius.
Present.
Mary Haight is not here. And Michael Splain.
Yeah.
Our first order of business would be a request for a partial certificate of compliance for 10 Tibbetts Avenue, DEP file number 14-1385. The applicant's Michael Hubbard, and I see Bob Griffith is here to represent.
Good evening, and thank you. This is one of the houses down at Tibbetts Avenue that was raised and reconstructed. I think your order was 2022, and the builder has followed the approved plan very faithfully. The building's in the right spot, the right size. All the landscaping has been installed, and the site's actually in beautiful condition. And a closing is anticipated within the next few weeks, I believe. The one sort of unusual thing about this application is that special condition 15 of your order conditions requires a 2-year survivorship for the plants. The planting work was all done earlier this year, really late spring, early summer, and it has held up well. It's got an irrigation system, but 2 years is not complete. So we're requesting a partial certificate of compliance with the anticipation that we'd come back at the end of next season to get the second year and get the final certificate of completion. So the only remaining work would be the survivorship. There's also a requirement in the special conditions that the applicant post a $2,000 bond. That bond was posted by Mr. Hubbard at the time of construction, and so that would also remain pending until the final certificate of completion is issued. But be happy to address any questions. Again, the site, I think, looks good. We had, Emily and I had an opportunity to visit there a few weeks ago, and again, we're happy to address any questions.
Now, this property is being sold,
That's correct.
so is the prospective owner on board with carrying on a open order of conditions?
They understand, and, you know, there's no alternative, really.
Okay, and who has posted the bond?
Mr. Hubbard posted the bond, the applicant, the developer. So,
So the bond would go back to him?
Yes.
it's his money.
Is 2,000 enough to ensure compliance?
I mean, that was what was in the original order of conditions, so we wouldn't be able to change that now. That's what they had agreed to when the order was issued. But I think, so. I mean, everything out there looks fantastic. I believe you said they put in an irrigation system too, so
Yeah, if the
I have no
commission
concerns.
was inclined to reduce the security, I'm sure Mr. Hubbard would appreciate it. All the work is complete, and again, everything's thriving.
Yeah, the house looks fantastic.
Yeah, it really does, yeah.
This looks beautiful.
Okay, so you've been out to see it,
Yes.
Emily, right? Okay, I don't have any other questions. Mike, do you have any questions?
No.
Jonathan?
No.
Nothing? Lorraine?
No questions.
Okay, if someone can make a motion, we can grant this. And before we do that, so in a year's time, someone has to come back?
Yes. Yep, once that second growing season is done, someone will come back and to do the final partial certificate to close that out, release the bond,
Will
and then
that be the new
and then that'll be it.
homeowner, or would that be what?
I believe, Bob, you could work that out with the homeowner, Mr. Hubbard, to see how you would like to do
Certainly,
that.
the obligation runs with the land. The homeowner might choose to come themselves, or they might invite me to come visit you, but somebody's got to come.
Yeah, how will they know to come back? How is that?
I'll be notifying them. It's in our tracker system that we use, so I'll let them know once
You
that
have a
growing season
system
is up.
where that'll come
Yes.
up and you, yeah,
Good.
okay.
Okay, if someone can make a motion, we
All
can
right.
issue an order.
I'll make a motion that we issue a partial certificate of compliance for 10 Tibbetts Ave, DEP file number 14-1385. The applicant, Michael Hubbard. These are special conditions. Were these already read into?
Oh, no, these are the conditions from the order, so
From
these are
the
the two
original order.
that are going to be closed out with the second partial. It's just, these are highlighted here just to show you the two that are remaining that are not being closed out.
Yeah, so the remaining conditions are the performance bond and the completion of the planting area.
Correct.
All right, I'll just summarize it that way.
Survivable.
And they survived this partial release. And see you next year, Bob.
Right.
That's a motion.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you all very much.
Okay, good, thank you. Next is a notice of intent for 117 and 121 Elliott Street, DEP file number 14-1426. The applicant is Jonathan Garis, will have to recuse himself, obviously, because he is the applicant. It'll just be the three of us.
Do I need to officially do that or recuse?
Well, we can note it on the record. that
Yeah, we'll
he-
just note that you have
Yep.
recused yourself.
Yeah.
Jonathan Garis, 117 Elliott Street, on behalf of 117 and 121 Elliott Street, seeking an order of conditions for the removal of 3 trees within the 50 and 35-foot buffer zones on the property. The trees you can see on the plan here. 1, 2, and I think the third one is actually
Third one, Peter.
off-screen. Yep, down here. That one on the bottom is the one that's within the 35-foot buffer.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay, good.
And there's pictures in the packet there.
What's going on here?
That's the house, right? I'm just trying to get my bearings here, Jonathan.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the
It's
house.
Elliott Street, right?
This is the house, this is Elliott Street, Route 62. This is my property line that runs along 119 Elliott Street. And at this corner here turns into 122 Elliott Street here. And this is a marsh, coastal banked marsh, and down into open water in the Millet Creek, which is tidal.
And these trees are dead, right? You just want to remove them to prevent?
Yeah, this one has been dead for who knows how long. I mean, it's completely debarked and gray. It's probably been dead for 10 or 20 years. I'm surprised it hasn't come down yet. This tree here and there are two dying, mostly dead ash trees that are continuing to decline over the years, and limbs are actively falling off of the trees and causing damage to things below. So it's a matter of time before they're totally dead and falling over themselves.
And one's on your property and one's on your neighbor's?
That's correct. This one's on my property. This is the property line here, the fence line. These two are on 121 Elliott Street's property.
Does
So is 121 Elliott
that
set
matter?
back from the street? Is that,
that
Yes.
matter that
Hold on a second,
the
Mike.
applicant isn't here for 121?
He signed an authorization on our record saying that he's totally fine with this.
Will the applicant, will they have to sign off? I mean, allow him to do it on,
Yep, he already did.
oh, he already did? Oh, fine.
Yeah, I had Dylan McNamara send a signed letter to Emily. So 121's property line kind of comes this way and then does an L to the street. So this would be his frontage here, and there's a fence line here, and then it does an L. So his lot is essentially L-shaped.
oh, I see. And then 119 is in between?
And 119 is snug in between here and is not a part of the project.
Okay. How much disturbance will there be by them removing these trees?
None. It'll all be done by crane. The crane is going to set up here in my driveway on my property, and they're going to be able to reach those from there. It's all going to be chainsaw by hand, so there'll be foot traffic to the back, to the tree locations, and they'll just be cutting them at the base, and the crane will be lifting them away.
And there's multiple trees back there. Is that correct?
That's correct. Most of the other trees are, on the periphery. There aren't really any trees between the driveway and the trees that we're going after here.
And just more or less want to cut these down just as to remove a hazard in case the,
Precaution.
Yeah, I'm worried. One large limb has already fallen and just missed my shed here a couple of years ago. And limbs are ready to fall off of that thing any given storm.
okay, and there's no ground disturbance within the 35?
We're
other
not
than the
proposing
foot
any
traffic.
disturbance at all whatsoever, nope.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Mike, do you have any?
So, what'll happen once the trees are out? Are you replanting something there or clearing or?
Not specifically because we're removing them, but, if it does look empty over there, I may think about putting some rhododendrons or some woodland shrubs, native things there.
Something native?
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
Okay, I have no other questions.
I don't have
Lorraine,
any
no?
questions, no.
Any public comment questions? None? I mean, I don't see any reason why we'd say no. There's plenty of other vegetation there. And I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
I see
really
that.
having
Yeah.
a negative effect on the wetlands. So someone can make a motion, then we'll go ahead.
I make a motion to issue a notice of intent for 310 CMR 10-05.
An order of conditions.
Order of conditions,
Yeah.
sorry. At 117 and 121 Elliott Street, DEP file number 14-1426.
Can I just have a little discussion on the motion?
Sure.
Mr. Chair? Just that, can we note that if he replaces it with anything, that it be native? You all right with that?
100%, yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't replace
Yeah.
it with anything but
Yeah.
native anyways.
And just for the record, your neighbor at 121 is signed off
Correct.
appropriately, so they're party to this, and they're good with it. Okay, the motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second?
You made the motion.
No.
No, he made, I just
He just had the discussion.
Oh, you
So
made
she's got
I
the
made the
the
motion.
amended
Okay.
motion, or whatever you want to call it. Second.
Senior
Yeah.
moment.
okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Good, now get back over here.
Yeah. Put your hat back on. Yeah.
All right, the third item is an amendment request for 152 Endicott Street. DEP file number is 14-1402. The applicant is JBM Danvers LLC.
We're just having some quick audio issues with Teams, so just bear with me 1 second.
Unmuted and then muted again.
Okay.
Get the wetland scientist logged in. In case you have a question.
Thanks, Mike.
You gonna do that yourself or hiring?
No, there's a tree company, Iron Tree.
Oh, yeah, I see the trucks.
Side by side.
They're good.
I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to
Good
show
people.
them.
I use them a lot as a subcontractor at work. So.
I've used them a couple times in my house. They're very good.
Yeah, they're saying that the town is muted, so they can't,
We've got some technical
the
difficulty
town
going
is
on
muted,
here.
so they can't hear me.
Per usual.
But when I turn the mic on my computer, that's when there's all the
Okay.
feedback.
All right, could they hear us now, possibly?
Right, okay, to the people that are online, can you hear us now?
Yes, we can, guys. Thank you.
Fantastic, thank you.
Okay, we're all
Yes,
set?
we can. Thank you.
Good evening. For the record, my name's Robert Clark from Allen & Major Associates. I'm here with Greg Michaelides from August Consulting, and we have Andrew from Goddard Consultant, the wetland soil scientist. So this was approved back January of last year. We have been under construction on the Fidelity building that's at the north of the site. All the perimeter wall was put in. We made a modification. Tonight we're here in front of you to discuss the hotel. We have a home 2 at the time. We did not have a hotel flag. We were at 95 approved units, and it's now 115, so they wanted 20 additional units, which resulted in 13 additional parking spaces. With that, there was an increase in the building at 1,250 square feet of building, and 1,700 square feet of pavement, which is under 3,000 square feet. It's a total of 2,950. This is still a reduction from the existing impervious overall to the site was originally 69%. We're at 55% now. We didn't encroach towards the wetlands. We didn't encroach with any of the riverfront. All the changes in the 2 boards I did place up there is the one closest to you is the previously approved plan, and the one closest to me is the new plan. We removed the porte cochere that was in this location, and there's now a patio in that location, so the drainage was able to accommodate this minimal increase in impervious. As I mentioned, the wall was already in place, the drainage was already in place, the wetland replication was already replaced, constructed, and all the invasive species have been removed. They went through the whole program. Goddard Consultant was the consultant on that. They did issue a report. You guys should have that. They're in their phase 3 in the spring. They'd come out and check it, but everything was installed, everything was removed. They used the herbicide and they did the treatment. If there's any questions for him, he is online that he can answer any questions regarding the wetlands and the invasive species that we removed prior to. With that, I'll open it up to any questions.
I guess you kind of touched on, but can you just show us on the map where the wetlands that was there that's been removed, and then the new replication area? And I think you said that's been planted, so
Correct.
we're just,
This is the blow up of those 2 areas. I'll get back to the microphone.
So it's at the lower side of the wall.
You can see, here's a replication area right in this location. This is what was removed with invasive species. This is the wetland filling for the access into the site. So this is the access into the site. This is the replication area here.
and this was the filling for the access of Chalet Court into the site. Nothing's changed on that previously to now.
Okay, and your changes do not really impact the wetlands, they're not going into...
Correct.
buffer
Everything
zones.
was internal to the parking area, and as I mentioned again, we saw a reduction from what was existing. The old pavement line was out here. And the new one is here. That has not changed. So it was really removing, we had a cut through in this location with a porte cochere, and you can see, well, previously you could see the two plans I had up there. It's really, the building got a little bit longer.
A little bit longer?
Yeah, yeah, so where the turnaround and the drop-off is no longer, and now it's a patio area, so. But yeah, the perimeter, nothing changed on the perimeter towards the wetlands, toward the riverfront, towards any of the protectable resources.
And the wetlands replication is well underway?
Correct, correct.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. Mike, do you have any questions?
Just, when you said no other changes for now, are you contemplating some future changes or further changes that may come up?
Yeah, no, we're not, they have a tenant, so we're not anticipating any additional changes. It was really to accommodate the tenant that we received. It was on spec before.
Where did the additional spaces go? Where did you get them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I'm gonna sing or something. Do I have to press it? Yeah. Okay,
You're gonna run out of cord there.
yeah, that's okay.
That's,
So really, the best thing to do is grab a printer, pointer. So as you can see, none of this changed. None of this changed over here. The whole perimeter is in. This area hasn't changed. This area has not changed. It's really the difference here and here. We're able to increase this bay by removing this bump out for the patio. In this location, we had a drive-through here and in this location. So we're able to extend this parking field internally. So instead of them here, we're coming across as we remove this cut-through where there's a 24-foot wide drive lane. And we're able to increase this bay here from the ones in this location. So it mostly in that location. By removing that cut-through, we're able to extend this. Removing the patio, we extended this. So it's really right in here and right in here. And then we removed this, this is a dash line. There was a canopy here that they could drive underneath and drop people off. But now, this is now the patio in this location in the green space.
so that would have been where people drove up and you dropped someone off.
Correct,
Now
correct.
that's not there anymore.
Correct. They can still drop off here. We were able to put it on the end of the building, on the side of the building versus the end of the building. So there was some green space in this location, so we were able to put that cut through in that location there.
Yeah, this must have went to planning, huh?
Yes, we're going to receive an administrative approval. We've been in talks with the engineering department as well as the planning department, and they feel that they can approve it administratively, but any changes on a notice of intent should come back to the board and get the amendment.
Thank you, I have nothing further.
Okay, thank you.
Jonathan, any questions?
I have a question with respect to the wetland replication area.
Yep.
So I don't know if this is a question for Andrew. I assume the general contractor has a subcontractor doing the replication and invasive species removal and treatment work, or?
Yeah, Andrew, do want to comment on, the question was the contractor having a sub-consultant on the wetland
Yep.
replication area.
Yep, I can jump in there. We have two separate on the project because the invasive species work that's going on needs to be done by a licensed herbicide applicator. That was part of the plan set that we had submitted. So we retained a company called Ecological Land Management. It's somebody we work with frequently for this. He's a licensed herbicide applicator.
Yep.
So he's doing all the treatments themselves, and then Goddard's on site monitoring all the work that's done. And then same with the wetland replication area. We're on site. There's a subcontractor doing the work, but we're on site with them, inspecting the grades, checking for hydric soils. We inspected all the plantings during installation and prior to make sure that everything was matching up with the approved plans. So we were on site for both the treatment of the invasives as well as all the wetland replication work, and even conducted a post-inspection on the 22nd of November once it was all wrapped up. So to answer an earlier question about the wetland replication area, it's completely graded, inspected by Goddard, it's been planted, and it's now entering winter dormancy with the monitoring scheduled for the spring of 2025. So everything's gone according to the plans.
Okay, and then remind me, what sort of monitoring period did we stipulate in there? Is there 1, 2, 3 years?
You guys have 2 years, spring and fall inspections, and then reports to you after both. So we'll be starting in the spring of 25, expected to end in the fall of 26.
Okay. Thank you.
Did we have a bond?
No problem.
On that?
Yes.
All set, Jonathan?
Yeah, all set.
No
Great.
questions.
No questions? Just one quick follow-up. I remember there was a pool there that wasn't in use with the previous hotel, is
To the
that?
right of the Denny's when you drove in, there
Right,
used to be a pool there.
Yeah, that's been removed.
So no new pools being installed?
Was that removed or filled in, probably?
Yes, it was filled in, yeah, and removed.
Whereabouts is that on the map?
Right in this area, right? Right? Yeah, it's right behind the mobile station. So the mobile station is right in here,
Mm-hmm.
and it was right over here. There was also a boat next to it, too.
There was what?
There was also a boat there.
Was a boat in the pool?
No,
I was
the
gonna
boat was
say.
bigger than the pool, so I don't think it was for the pool, but.
All right, so now that the pool is part of the paved area now, so it's not any wetlands implications?
Correct. Yeah, it was Phragmites all over it, so there's a lot of invasive species that has been
Okay,
removed.
and all that's been done? The
Yeah.
invasives have all been removed? Is there any other public comment? None? Okay, so this is pretty much just to amend the order of conditions, right? So this is pretty straightforward.
So is this a public hearing?
I'm sorry?
Is this a public
Yeah.
hearing? Yes. We have to move
Okay,
it.
yeah, so, right, I'm thinking out loud here. All right, so if someone can make a motion to close the public hearing before we vote on this? Go ahead.
All right, I'll move to close the public hearing for 152 Endicott Street, DEP file number 14-1402 in connection with their amendment request.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we need to vote on amending the order of conditions.
All right, I'll make a motion that we issue an order of conditions in connection with the amendment request presented by the applicant JBM Danvers LLC at 152 Endicott Street. Doesn't appear to be any special conditions with that.
Nope, all the conditions from before would still
Yeah,
apply.
It's pretty straightforward, that the order of conditions be, reflect what the applicant has actually displayed today, that the plan that the building is being increased approximately 1,250 feet, is that square feet, is that right?
Yes,
Yeah. And some 15 parking spaces are added, but that's
13,
not our
correct.
jurisdiction. The key thing here, that there's been no further encroachment in the 35 or the 50.
Right.
correct.
So that's the motion.
All right, and these, is there a second?
A second.
Okay, before we vote, these are now the plans you'll compare to when they come for certificate of
Yes,
compliance?
yes.
All right, the
Any
motion,
bond would remain, the
Yes,
bond remains.
all that still remains.
Yeah.
okay. All in favor of this motion? Please say
Aye.
aye.
Did we get a second on that?
Yeah.
I second.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, it was quick.
You did,
You
you
missed
did. Okay. Aye.
Okay, good.
All right, great, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck. When's your expected completion on this project?
Fidelity to turn over, they're doing the interior now, so that they're going to open in the spring, and the hotel will start probably March. Well, I think it's gonna be- Excuse me? I think the hotel was a year, right?
Yes. So Fidelity's going in there?
Fidelity's in front of it.
Yeah. They were on the corner of Sylvan and Endicott. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to old and new business, minutes from November 14th, 2024. Everyone had a chance to review those minutes? There wasn't
I
a whole
did.
lot there.
There wasn't much there.
Uh,
That's it.
We all set? Any
Pretty quick
questions,
read.
any issues? No? Okay, if someone can make a motion, we can accept those.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from November 14, 2024.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, is there anything else, Emily?
Mr. Garis?
Yes, what would you?
What?
I've made the tough decision to cycle back and become an alternate from the board.
Oh, really? Why?
Quite frankly, I feel like I don't have enough free time to faithfully fulfill the duties. I find myself not being able to keep up with the amount of hours that are required.
But
for-
you'll still be here as an alternate?
I don't want to completely just turn
No.
my back. I mean, I'd like to stay attached in some capacity. I don't feel like I have the, I've already met, I feel like I only have like a 50% attendance rate at this
Yeah.
point. and-
Well, do we have someone in the wings?
That is exactly why we're bringing this up tonight. If you are aware of anyone, we're doing some research on our end too. And of course, this is open to the public. If anyone is interested, they can either reach out to me at the office, or we have a form online that, that people can fill out, similar to exactly what you all filled out when you joined.
Mary's likely to continue on, as far as we know?
I'm sorry?
Mary's likely
Yes,
to continue?
yep, as far as, I haven't heard otherwise, so as far as I know,
Because she's
continues.
missed a couple.
Yeah,
yeah.
I believe she had a work commitment
Yeah,
tonight,
yeah.
but yeah, she's planning on continuing as a full.
So how does the alternate get triggered in?
If,
To make a quorum?
to make a
mainly?
quorum, yes, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, how does that work? So if you don't have a quorum, you would reach out to me and
Call
see if
him.
I can make it?
Yeah, and you'll still be on all the emails, all the notifications, invited to all the site visits,
Okay.
everything.
Just less of a pressure to
Can
be
the
there.
alternate attend meetings and ask questions?
Yes,
But if there's only one member missing, the alternate doesn't
then you
vote.
wouldn't be voting.
Only to make a
Is that
quorum.
is that the same across all town boards?
That I would have to double check on. I can chat with Brian and Josh tomorrow.
Could you please? 'Cause
Yeah, of course.
I've been,
Hey,
to
Bill,
my way
what
of
ab-
thinking.
What
I-
about,
Mike,
Bill,
Mike,
what
Mike,
about?
Mike,
Oh,
Mike.
sorry. I wanna say something.
To my way of thinking, if we have an alternate, and we only have, like, tonight we have 4 members present, and we have a 5-member board, why can't that alternate vote as the 5th member?
Right, yeah, I'll get clarification on all that. I don't want to say the wrong thing right now, so I will
Because
get that all
in the-
laid out.
In the past, I get the impression that was like a Conservation Commission rule,
Okay.
and I'd just like to see it consistent throughout the others. 'cause
I'm
like I
not
said,
sure
Oh,
what
yeah.
you're saying.
I'd like to see, say tonight we have 4 members.
Yeah.
And if we have an alternate that could be here, and it could vote as the 5th member. If there's 5 members here, then the alternate can't vote.
But why would we care? Because you need,
Well, one thing, remember we had the thing with the airport, and there's only 3 members here, and there was a question of, there's some
Oh, yeah, that
term
was.
for that, there are only
there
3
were-
members at that board, that
well,
vote is kind
someone.
of questionable.
Yeah, it had to do with Mary's status, though.
With the amount of meetings that had been missed,
Yeah.
particular to that project. That was a very unique
Unusual
set of
thing.
circumstances there, yeah. But I'll get clarification on everything, get that sent out to all of you.
Okay, in the meantime, let's get a new member.
But yes. Yep,
I was
ear to the
just
ground.
going to address Bill, because he comes
I
to
know.
every meeting.
He has good attendance.
All right,
All right.
okay.
But what's there's no greater service than to be a volunteer, especially without compensation, so.
True.
Your town meeting, yeah.
Okay, anything else, Emily?
Next meeting is January 9th. We don't have We have two COC applications for that so far. The cutoff date isn't until the 23rd of this month, so there may be a couple more things rolling in between now and then. But I'll keep you guys in the loop.
There's nothing pressing, no one wants anything decided over the holidays.
No one wants a decision on December 26th
Oh,
or anything.
all right. I thought we had a
Great
meeting. I'm
service.
like,
Enjoy
oh,
your time off.
I'll be
and,
around. I'll be
No
around.
one has reached
So
out
we'll
to
do it,
me
I'll
about
see
that
you
date.
around.
Oh, good, good,
I'm sure I'll
good.
be around.
Yeah.
That's
If I
good.
see you in your yard, I'll stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
Honk at me.
Someone can make a motion to adjourn? We
I'll
can't.
make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
All
All
right.
right.
Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas.
everyone.
Merry Christmas, Aaron.
Well, thanks for your time.